Editor Chris here. So this episode gets a little bit heavy in terms of subject matter, from violence to essay to police brutality and racism. So if you don't want to listen to that, or if you want to listen to something a little bit more lighthearted, we understand. I would advise to skip this episode. But if you stick around, I hope you enjoy the episode and have a wonderful day.
Welcome y'all to Backwoods Obscura, a podcast dedicated to the lore, legends, and myths surrounding the creatures that may lurk in your backyard. My name's Hewitt.
I'm Chris. How you doing, man?
We made it through an ice storm.
Okay, so were you in the same sort of boat I was, where I was like, I'm just going to ride this out. It's just an ice storm. We might lose power for maybe a day. But I'm going to ride it out. I'm going to do some studying. I'll, play some games. I'll clean up, whatever. Maybe be out of work for one day.
I knew I was going to be out of work for 2 days because I canceled Monday, Tuesday. I did not expect Saturday at 2 p.m. before anything happened, power to go out. Like, sleet hadn't even fallen. But wind knocked over a tree. And,
y'all have wind. We didn't have any wind.
Very quickly, Saturday after we lost power, there was a pine tree, and you saw the pictures on Discord.
Yeah.
The pine tree just across from the house just past Kyle's rental came down and was in that yard and Kyle's yard. Jeez. So I got the power line. The live oak that's just one house down on the other side from me, the big limb hadn't come down, it had gotten weighed down to where it was in the road. When I got past that, there were about 3 more trees down, and then the street behind us didn't get power till Saturday.
Yeah, Nate, my brother, didn't get power until like Saturday. I think either Saturday or Sunday. But we woke up, and where we were, it was like 9 o'clock, and it was already just sleet. It looked like snow.
Yeah,
it just white everywhere, and I was like, "Oh, we're not going anywhere."
Yeah, we had loaded up. Like, I had a big bag of charcoal, knowing that I'd probably have to use the grill to cook a little bit.
Yeah.
But tell you how bad it is, I got a FEMA food reimbursement form for how much I lost in my freezers.
We should have done that, because we had to reset too, and I lost some steaks. I didn't tell Hannah that, and we also lost the rest of the boudin balls.
Oh man.
Yeah. So.
Well, what we did is Wednesday, because we actually stayed in my classroom.
Yeah.
Like, we went up to my school because we had running water, not great running water because, one of the pumps lost power. And then we had heat and we had the internet. So my kids were entertained. We had a warm place to sleep, and I have a microwave.
Right.
So slightly squishy chicken nuggets, but food.
Hey, it's warm food. I mean, that's the biggest problem that we had. Like, the second day before, one of our neighbors lent us a propane burner.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have any hot food. We were just eating like sandwiches and like chips and cereal, and it was like, can't take much more of this.
So when Wednesday we came back because it's like, look, we've gotten past the coldest parts of it. The kids are getting tired of being in a classroom. At least we can let them run through the rest of the house and go to their rooms and maybe get showers because we had hot water. And we invited Jed and Amris and their kids over, and I turned on my Ryobi clip light, which that thing, if I can find more of those, like, they've stopped making that model, I think, but that lit up the living room really well. Power came back, but I grilled from probably 1 until 5 on Wednesday, all the food that had mostly thawed out. And so we ate that, and then when power came back Thursday, Emily spent all day cooking the rest of the food that thawed out, and then we refroze the cooked food. So we didn't lose
too much.
We lost like a $35 bag of chicken.
Yeah, we lost chicken, fish. We lost all the other things I said.
But
yeah, so I was pretty unprepared. We lost our front patio, the awning.
Saw that. That was, at least your car wasn't on it.
Yeah, we were like, it's one of those things that if it hit a car, we would have had a completely different reaction to it. Our reaction to it's like, huh, well,
that sucks. But
that sucks. Insurance will cover it. any one of our cars would be under, we'd be fucking cussing.
Because that's your mode of transportation.
The back patio is Boeing. It's safer now that there's not.
We need to get you some cross members. There's none underneath that thing.
Here's the thing. If you look closely, like at the beams on the side, they're bent in.
Oh, damn.
Because they're, like, you see the beams on, like, near the house, they're bent in, and that one wooden beam that we put there for support is, like, holding in there like a trooper. But if you look on the other side, they're bent in, too. Yeah, so it got really heavy up there, and thankfully, now that it's all melted, we don't have to...
No, but it's something you should probably look into replacing.
Oh, yeah, no, we already got the adjuster. We had the adjuster go up and look in there, and the insurance company paid for the people to clean up the backyard, which they kind of, they were picking up, like, some branches that we had put there initially just before the storm, and I was like...
Nah, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, go ahead.
I still have a whole bunch that I need to burn in the
it was
backyard.
A bunch of dudes that were just like, they just got to work. They didn't say anything to us. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to bother them.
Well,
they're in the zone.
Did you feel kind of abandoned during all of this?
That's a way to put it.
Good, because the prisoners of the Orleans Parish Prison felt the same.
Okay, so we're in a prison.
We are at the Orleans Parish Prison, located at two addresses. It is 2800 Gravier Street, New Orleans. Also 2800 Perdido Street, or Perdido.
Is it like on a
Perdido Street?
Corny?
No, it's huge.
Oh, it's just big.
It's
just
huge.
It is a prison, so.
And it's in New Orleans. You drive by it on the way to the Superdome on I-10. You see.
So I've seen it before.
You have. Because you can see it from I-10 that there is a 10-story structure that is a very brutalist design. Okay. I'm going to allow him to search it up.
Oh, what's the name of it again?
The Orleans Parish Prison.
Oh, it does have two. Okay.
It's huge.
Oh, it's that building.
Yeah, you always wondered what that was, didn't you?
I mean, it is an interesting looking building, so...
Yeah, that's how you know you're going by the current one. Now, before Hurricane Katrina, it held up to 6,500 prisoners on its grounds. This made it the 9th largest prison in the U.S. based on daily population, and it was larger than Angola at that time.
Wait, is this going to be a Katrina story?
Oh, we get there, but there's so much more.
Oh, God.
To give you an idea, this is the 9th largest prison in the United States. New Orleans is the 39th largest city.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't actually surprise me because we live in Louisiana, which has one of the highest prison populations.
Now, most of the people that were being held there were awaiting charges and were technically in holding.
So it's not like a long-term prison then.
Oh no, there's some long-term portions to it, but most of the people that are held there are waiting to go to court. Most of them haven't been charged yet. They just can't make bail, which makes this place worse. Because these are technically people that haven't even been charged, but they might spend months waiting their arraignment date.
Wait, so these people that are not charged, they're waiting their arraignment date.
So they've been arrested. They've been informed of why they're arrested, but they have not been officially charged in court yet because of the backlog of cases in the city of New Orleans.
Of course. So are they just like let into gin pot?
Depends on where you are. Also, I've read some stuff that they're trying to build something new because some of this is going to get torn down soon. Now, in 2013, Mother Jones listed as the 4th worst prison in the United States.
Cool. Are the other 3 in Louisiana? Or?
One of them's Angola.
I figured.
One of them's at Supermax outside of Dallas.
Is that like the place where they had the Unabomber?
No, I can't remember what it was.
Okay. No, the one that hosts the Unabomber, I think, is in Arizona.
Then there's one in Missouri. Now, let's go with the history of the prison. The original prison was built in 1837 in the Tremé neighborhood, so just outside of the French Quarter. It was a Franco-Spanish visage of stucco, 2 large cupolas with large open arcades and separate sections and courtyards based on the offenses and ethnicities. So they would not put a pickpocket in with a murderer, and they weren't going to put anybody white in with anybody that wasn't white.
I was going to say they're pretty progressive and not, having like the same level of offenders in the same spot, but then you went into the racism.
Now, prisoners were kept segregated and kept in outside pens, pen-like structures most of the day, and only during the night did they sleep inside the building. Now,
so they're just like, go graze the fields and then let them in at night like cattle. Okay.
Yeah. Slaves who were caught escaping were put in the worst spots in the prison.
Oh, so okay. So they use this for slaves too. That's
this is about to get worse. Anyone suspected of being a runaway slave would be held until someone came and paid for them to be returned to their owner. So you could be a free person of color. Someone goes, "Oh, that's a slave that ran away. Arrest him." They arrest you. And then you could tell them all day long, "Hey, look, I'm a free person of color. Here's my name." And someone could just come and buy you. Oh, yeah, this is the note. Free people of color had to carry around freedom papers to prove that they were not slaves. Doesn't this sound like some people are trying to do now? You could be.
I was seeing the parallels already.
Next bullet point. That is fucked.
Yeah. We shouldn't live in a papers police society, even partially.
So, again, third point. For the third time I wrote this down, my bullet points. You could be sold into slavery and not be a slave just because you're black and someone decided you were suspicious. So, now, standards in the Orleans Parish Prison were harsh even by that standard of the time. Mostly because prisoners only had 2 blankets, were fed twice a day, usually underfed. And they were exposed to the elements in the galleries because there'd be bars, but there weren't windows. So, yellow fever outbreaks, malaria outbreaks, anything that mosquitoes could spread went rampant through the prison.
Yeah, because, if you just have a little bit of water in there, mosquitoes can propagate pretty easy, I think.
Now, in 1895, the building had become insufficient to provide for the city needs. The city also had expanded, so plans for a more centralized location were set up because City Hall and everything moved out of the French Quarter. Also, having a prison in your tourist section really was not a great idea. So initially it was torn down and turned into a water and sewage treatment area. And today, the Municipal Auditorium and Louis Armstrong Park stand on the spot.
Okay, so...
Now, the next prison was built near Elks Park on what is today Tulane and Common. Then it was called Gravier and Common. Now, it was $350,000 at the time. The dude pocketed most of the money. He built this big castle-looking structure, had a central tower, crenellations. It was called the Old Castle, even when it was just built. That was the cursed dice jar.
Was it?
That was the sound of a mason jar lid popping, dude. That's the cursed dice jar over on my desk.
This past year, since we've been doing this podcast,
we've had weird shit happen while we're recording. Will Wheaton's dice. Calm the fuck down.
Yeah, for anyone listening, he got a gift from a friend that is dice that are rolled by Will Wheaton, but they're also
they are wrapped in tinfoil and packed in blessed salt.
And that's what popped.
Yeah. Yeah, one day I'm going to bust them out and roll them in a game just to fuck with people.
That's now, does the curse how is that curse supposed to work?
He can't on average mathematically his rolls don't make sense because of the amount of times he rolls. It's not supposed to be statistically possible to roll that many numbers below a 10 or that many min damages.
Maybe it's just how he rolls the dice, but anyway,
it might just be Will Wheaton. Anyway, so the guy pocketed it. The prison was built very poorly. It was built very quickly, and it was already in disrepair by the 1920s. 30 years, and this thing is already fallen apart. The Dallas-based architect Max Orlop designed this Gothic castle with a central turret, the tower over to be imposing. And deliver a message. And then he left, and it fell apart. If that's not a Louisiana story, is it? You know?
No. Corrupt people pocketing money and doing a shit job, that never happens in Louisiana.
1931, they moved the prison a mile down Tulane and built a new site.
So this prison has been in 3 different locations at this point.
Yes. So 1931, they moved it down the road. The old castle was nearly unusable as sewage was backing up to the 2nd floor.
Second?
And wind could be felt coming through the mortared stones because the mortar was porous.
How? Okay, so wait.
I didn't go any further into
the
this.
Sewage backed up on the 2nd floor. Like
all the toilets on the 1st floor clogged.
And then they got...
It went up the pipes to the 2nd floor.
Man, this guy really didn't give a shit.
Did a shitty job.
He's like, I'll give like $10 for you to build this, and I'm gone.
Now, the old castle is gone. City Hall and a couple other buildings sit on its site today.
Probably a better use of that.
Now, the 1931 site still wasn't great and very quickly became overrun and was not enough, so they expanded. So in 1967, the House of Detention was built on Gravier Street, a massive 10-story high-rise. Concrete, totalitarian appearance, like straight up a bad guy looking headquarters. Like, if all of a sudden a Bond villain was on the top as the helicopter landed to take him somewhere, it would track.
Yeah. It does kind of have like a Legion of Doom sort of feel about it.
A Russian oligarch that is like nefarious in every way would have this bitch. It's noted as a great example of brutalism in architecture.
I like how, of all the places you would find brutalism, it's here. But it also makes sense.
I mean,
I don't know how popular brutalism was in the United States.
The amount of brutalist buildings in Baton Rouge that were built in the 40s and 50s, like the late 40s, early 50s, because they were just cheap.
Right.
Like, once you get away, like, there's several additional government buildings around the new Capitol that are built that way.
Okay.
Like, the Louisiana FBI has an office like that.
Like, I always associate brutalism with, like, Russian architecture. And,
right.
Like, tenements and everything.
Like, Eastern European bloc nation apartments.
Yeah. Although, like, brutalism is what, like, going back to the game Control, the whole building that you're in is like all brutalist.
Yeah, it is designed to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Now, the HOD or the HOD had no AC, next to no heat. So a giant concrete box made to torture you, because like no heat in the winter. A lot of people are like, oh, Louisiana's like, yeah, we get some cold days, but imagine how cold concrete gets covered in sleet.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like. It's like a reverse furnace, almost. Like,
but however, when summer hits, well, not even summer, when like frickin' April gets here,
it boxes in all the
it's
heat.
just nothing but a hot box of body odor and like pit and ball sweat, man. That's all it is. The whole place reeked. Like, you could smell it sometimes from the road or from I-10. Now, officially, it had 825 beds, but it usually held twice that number, upward and sometimes upwards of 1,300. The top floor was for mentally unstable inmates. I'm not going to use the term that they used.
Oh, yeah.
Most cells had 10 bunks, and were in more of a pen-style fashion than anything else. A lot of the rooms had a gate to the interior and a window that was not big enough for someone to get out of on the outside. Like, it might run most of the length of the wall, but it was not wide enough for anybody to get out, and you couldn't open it. So, again, meant to make you suffer. Now, another fucked up thing they would do is, before I get to that one, inmates were regularly underfed. One guy said there was 10 of us in the room, and they gave us 8 pieces of ham and 7 pieces of bread.
One sandwich might not be enough just to feed.
I didn't say sandwiches. I said pieces of bread and pieces of ham.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like even on a normal sort of thing, a single sandwich isn't really.
No, not enough for calories for a person.
Yeah, so they don't even get. Okay.
So human rights.
Why is it like always? Okay, I don't mean to get political, but it's always like these like southern states that go above and beyond, especially Louisiana, when it comes to like crimes against humanity.
Because prison's supposed to make you suffer is what they think. Like they very much go by that Eastern state penitentiary model, that puritanistic, and also racism.
Yeah. Of course, the black and brown inmates probably got treated a lot worse.
Well, not just that, they make up most of the prison population, and the 13th Amendment doesn't cover prison labor. Yeah. So it's slavery by a new name. Now, am I saying that some of these people didn't commit heinous crimes? Absolutely not. Am I saying that they deserve to be underfed and treated like bullshit and then sold out to the highest bidder to go work? Fuck no. They deserve to be paid. Put in a high Roth IRA so that when they get out, they might be able to do something with their life.
Hewitt, that's some liberal shit.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather just pointlessly torture people so they would be more likely to commit more crime.
Oh, on that note, deputies would pull inmates out of cells for lineups of reported crimes if they sort of resembled the accused.
What? So they would just be like, yeah.
We only have 3 people, but we need 5, so we're putting you in the lineup. Which means several people were put on trial for crimes that occurred while they were already in the correctional facility.
So they were just like, yeah, this black guy looks like the black guy that might have robbed this store. Was it a black guy? I don't know. He looks like it.
Now, in 1976, the Community Correction Center was built, the CCC. Not the good CCC that FDR came up with, but, Community Correction Center. Now, during Sheriff Foyt's tenure, from 74 to 2002, jail capacity skyrocketed from 850 to 8,500, while the populations of New Orleans decreased by 18%. This meant 1 in 12 of the African-American men in New Orleans were in the prison.
That's like breast cancer risk right there.
Yeah.
Like general breast cancer risk. So that would be what, like 12%? 8% of the population? The black population?
Something like that.
That is like there are like things when you think about them, like when you actually think about them, like, wow, this is kind of just like a crime against humanity. I know I've been overusing that, but
no, in this case, it's very much. Now, the prison quickly became one of the worst in the U.S. and also got listed in the top 12 of the world.
Cool.
So we got above a Cambodian prison that year.
Hell yeah. Number 1 in something, am I right, gamers?
Deputies failed to monitor prisoners, which led to many murders in the HUD, especially one person being thrown off of the 7th floor.
I was gonna say, okay, so he was just tossed, okay, not through a window. I was gonna say,
no, he got thrown. He got thrown to the center. Also, if sewers backed up, people would straight up just projectile shit out the front of the cage, because that's really what it was, to see if they could get to go down to the bottom to get the guards.
Hey, you gotta make entertainment somewhere.
Prisoners, also, due to repeated budget cuts from the city, there should have been 1 guard to every, 50 prisoners. It was 1 to about every 160. So it was ridiculously understaffed, which meant there were days, other than food being dropped off, inmates didn't see an officer in the HOD, in the HOD. And they wouldn't be let out to go do anything.
What time? What is the timeline we're looking at right now?
We're looking just between 74 and 2002.
That recent, huh?
Yeah.
That recent.
69, the inmates filed a class action lawsuit for inhumane conditions. It did not make it past the court. They appealed it. It got shut down by the Supreme Court, or the state Supreme Court.
Of course.
So it failed. Conditions continued. Guards were arrested for providing knives and guns to the inmates to handle problems.
Guns?
There's a video where there is an inmate with 2 pistols.
Just that. Okay, I can understand knives. At least, like, you could, get somebody without too much notice, and then
I'm not talking like a butter knife, man, or like a plastic knife that's been sharpened. Whole ass 8-inch long kitchen knives. Someone had to smuggle them to these prisoners because these prisoners did not come out unless it was to go to their arraignment or to a court date.
And they also got guns to them.
Yeah. So there were some guards that were arrested and put into prison in the Orleans Parish Prison.
It's like, you know what? Like,
Jeffrey, man, that was so cool. I got your back.
Thank you for that gun.
I took care of that snitch. You my boy.
God.
No, there's a video. There's a...
but here's the thing. Before you say anything, I just think it's very funny that, like, someone would, like, willingly commit a crime in the city of New Orleans knowing how the prison system works and they work at that prison.
Yeah.
Like, I would be too fucking... I mean, I kind of get it because you're, like, in a constant state of stress and you kind of get to, like, well, fuck it. I don't give a shit anymore. Mm-hmm. But 2, it's like, but really, it's like, you're just so tired. And you're also like, I don't want to be in this prison to begin with. I
don't want to stay here. I like being able to go home.
Yeah.
So continuing, until the 1990s, they did not do regular health screenings, which turned the prison into one of the highest contraction points of HIV in the 80s. Due to rape.
Well, yeah, I mean, I figured it was not great reasoning for them to have a lot, like, outside of just, like, fighting and sexual assault.
One family sued the prison because they withheld insulin from diabetic inmates as a punishment or to encourage them to snitch.
That's just...
That is legit
crime against humanity. These are crimes.
They go in the further
anti-human crimes.
So, 1999, a female inmate sued because female inmate sued because she went into labor and had to deliver her baby with the shackles still on. They would not remove the shackles for fear that she would try to run in the prison hospital. Which was...
Wait.
She was arrested while pregnant.
Well, yeah, I get that, but it's also like... How is she supposed to... Okay, logistically, like, giving birth requires a certain position, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and you know that those leg shackles, the manacles on the legs, they don't allow you to take a full step, so you're not going to be able to spread them wide enough to put them into the stirrups.
I try to be an advocate for, like, Southern culture, and then, like, we get a case like this, and I'm like, I hate the South.
Another female inmate sued because she did not receive a gynecological exam, though she bled heavily for a month after giving birth. They also didn't let her hold her baby. They immediately took it to Child Protective Services.
Cool. Cool.
Did not contact the father of the baby or the family, either side of the family. Just put the baby into the foster care system. That was the other part of the lawsuit, too. So, the number of minors being housed in the facility with adults has increased since 2025 due to the push of Governor. I put hot dogs in my gumbo Landry to try violent and repeat offenders as adult as young as 14.
I'm numb. I'm like,
which means a whole lot of something has increased in this site since our illustrious wee governor was elected.
Why is it always? And I'm not trying to do a pun here. The smallest men that want to do the most heinous shit, like,
because they're trying to compensate for something. I don't know, dude. Like, you could be a short king and somebody would love you.
It's
or
just
or you can be a little bitch.
The thing is, it's like, have kids as young as 14 done really horrible things.
Yeah.
They've murdered people. They've raped people.
They're still a child.
They're still a child. And, like, you had to treat special cases as special cases. And also throwing them in with fucking...
adults. Look, man, the whole thing is because of the pipeline and the pay-for-play prison system.
Yeah, of course. Fuck all of these people.
Yeah. Now, between 2006 and 2014, there were 44 deaths, with 7 being unaccounted. Which I think means they just found a dead guy and didn't list a fucking cause or ask. That's my opinion here. They just said, yeah, we found 7 dudes just dead.
So do you think like some of these prison guards might have migrated to a certain? Yeah, that's what I figured. Fuck all these people.
Yeah, like, oops, dead inmate, toss him in the body bag and let's go. Bullet point that I wrote exactly word for word. Since 2006, since 2014, the death count has gotten up to 52. That's what's been recorded. It's close to 100 if you list those who died of injuries that they got in prison but got out. People who contracted HIV, people who got hit, and then later died of complications from a fractured skull. Of those additional 8 deaths, 7 are suicides.
Jesus.
4 of which occurred after 2025, and you can figure out the age. The HUD is currently slated for demolition, though.
That's good. Silver linings.
Okay. Katrina.
Oh.
Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Tortilla.
Hurricane Tortilla?
It's a kid who had a bag of chips hit him and had Hurricane Tortilla. It's an old-ass vine. So August 29th, 2005, Hurricane Katrina hit, and there were 6,500 inmates recorded in the Orleans Parish Prison. Sheriff Guzman claimed that deputies stayed at their posts and provided inmates with care, food, and water until they could be moved. This is a lie, as the inmates were abandoned as water rose.
So we're going back to the... Yeah. You know what? I put 2 and 2 together with context clues you've been throwing out here. So yeah. I figured this was coming.
Yeah. Prisoners were left in cells with up to chest-high water. They broke out the visitation windows and used mattresses to cover up the glass so they could get themselves to higher ground. They didn't try to escape the prison. They just didn't want to drown.
I mean, fair enough. Like, if you've ever seen someone that, was too young to see some of the images from or live that time, like, yeah. You weren't like going out on the street, even if
there was 4 to 5 foot of water throughout most. See, there was a couple places where it was 6 foot, 7 foot deep.
Yeah, people were going around in boats.
Like one of my mom's friends that had a house in Uptown, someone broke into their house, stole a bunch of their jewelry, and then went through the back door like had loaded themselves down. Didn't realize they had a pool.
Ooh.
And so when they drained the pool, when they came back months later, they found a goo jellified thief at the bottom of their pool with all of their jewelry.
I was about to say something bad.
Like, there's a bit of karma there, but also it's like, that fucking sucks. Like,
yeah, no, it definitely sucks. Just like,
now, like I said, most did not try to escape. Windows on the bottom floors of the CCC were kicked out so inmates could move to higher ground. They broke concrete walls down. They ripped their beds out of the walls and used them as battering rams on the cinder block walls to try to get out. Not to escape again, but to get out.
Yeah, just to get to a safe area.
A deputy was quoted, well, if we had power in the building at the time, we would have charged every last one of them with destruction of public property. Fuck off, mate.
There's always some little fucking Southern conservative dipshit that's like, oh, wow, you're not supposed to do that. why would you try and save yourself in a historic storm?
Now,
it's like, go fuck yourself.
When interviewed, 700 prisoners said they did not see a single sheriff, deputy, or other officer on site.
Of course. They probably all, fucked off.
Especially all the prisoners that were in the CCC, which was mostly 3-story buildings. Now, those who could not get out took their shirts and used blood or shit or markers that they had to make signs on their clothing to hang out of busted windows to be seen from I-10 to beg for help. So while some could get out, there were literally some prisoners that for 2 to 3 days were in chest-deep water. From the Mississippi, from the Gulf, from the sewers, just the morass of terrible that was the Katrina gravy.
That can't be good for the skin.
Tons of infections. Also, trench foot and crotch rot.
Yeah, that's what I figured what would happen.
Now,
like lots of skin breaking and lesions and shit.
Now, when the generators died with the little bit of air it wasn't cool air, they just had air circulating in the hod. The temperatures got over 100 degrees in all of the dark cells with no air circulation. Most inmates in Templeton 3 of the CCC were not evacuated until September 1st. Its first floor was completely underwater. The CCC suffered so much damage, it was abandoned after Katrina and not reopened. The hod was also badly flooded, but continued to operate because most of the building was still considered
operational. It wasn't as badly damaged.
Now, again, in the hod, they claimed to see no guards when the power went out. The exact number of inmates that may have died in the hod was not possible to ascertain because during the evacuation, there were more inmates in the building than recorded, and the offices flooded, destroying the backup records.
Cool.
So there's a good chance that there were people that were in there, that there was no record of them being in there, which meant they never would have been pulled for their arraignment date and would have sat in prison, arrested, but not fully charged, until someone went like, who the fuck's that old guy? This is why I feel this should go in the incompetence corner.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah,
I've done the second episode of Incompetence Corner.
It's Incompetence Corner, but it's also like willful negligence and just crimes against humanity.
We're going to get there too. The upper level of the hod got to 125 degrees where unmedicated inmates were the last to be removed for quote-unquote safety reasons. During the evacuation, women were often thrown in with men in holding as well as juveniles and then left unattended. Things happened.
Obviously, yeah.
Over 500 inmates were listed as unaccounted for by the end of the evacuation.
How many? Wait.
500 inmates. 13% would have been left as unaccounted for. Inmates reported dozens of bodies floated in flooded cells, but the sheriff refused that claim. Sheriff Guzman stated, "They're in jail, man. They lie. Don't rely on a crackhead. Cowards and criminals. They'll say anything to get a story out there."
Guzman, more like Jizman.
He remained sheriff until 2022.
Did he die of COVID?
No, he's still alive.
Fuck.
He's criticized the new guy and said he might run again. Multiple lawsuits have been filed against the prison. Multiple lawsuits have been filed against the Sheriff's Department of Orleans Parish. None of them made it past the state Supreme Court.
Yeah, our state Supreme Court is ass.
So, the big thing here is, when the courts made it there, one of the judges go, well, they're prisoners.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, man, they still breathe and eat and live like the rest of us. What the fuck's wrong with you?
No moral sense.
Man, Jesus wouldn't recognize your ass. Before we get on that kick. In 2025, the prison made the news again.
Cool.
10 inmates on May 16th, 2025, escaped through a hole behind the turlet they had pulled out of the wall.
I think I heard about these inmates escaping.
Yeah, most were recaptured by the end of the month. The last one made it all the way to October. Now, I would say more power to you, but that dude was a murderer.
So he did kind of do some bad things.
You know what?
But you know what?
Fuck the prison. Fuck you, but fuck the prison.
Yeah. It's like you're a fucking murderer, but also so is this prison. So it's kind of, and I think the prison has a higher count.
Has a higher body count than you at this point. Like, I think Jeffrey Dahmer's even going, nice.
Wow, that's a lot.
So let's get to why I initially looked at this, because a lot of people said, oh, the Orleans Parish Prison is haunted. I started this as a ghost thing, and I accidented a true crime. Because this is by all definitions
this
a
is
crime.
Elevated beyond true crime.
This is
really.
like military tribunal, get the gallows ready for some of these.
This is like Nuremberg territory, I think.
So, Ghost, the HUD had recorded poltergeist activity that has increased since its abandonment. Like, prisoners said stuff would get thrown at them all the time. And it'd be stuff that, like, someone couldn't have thrown. Cold spots, which in the HUD I would give some credence to, because it's a giant concrete fucking oven. Like, if all of a sudden you get into a spot where it's like 20 degrees colder, it's like, hold on. Again, Ghost, you stay right the fuck here. All right. What's bad? I'd be like, who's got Lucy's? Who's got a cigarette? I'll trade you. You trade me, I'll give you 15 minutes in the Ghost. Paranormal air conditioner. Voices, shadow people. A lot of people that have done ghost stuff there have reported getting slapped, or feeling like they got slapped straight across the face. Not like kind of slap, but like
legit, just
like whole hand across the face.
Like dramatic.
Like Rick James slapping Charlie Murphy type.
Right. Okay.
People have felt an overwhelming feeling of rage, fear, and depression in the building, but the building, I kind of lend that the building is designed to do that. I
mean, I feel a bit of rage just listening to the story, so I get it.
You're remaining so calm in the face, though. At the 1931 prison, many people who were put into solitary or the hole stated that they saw a figure in prison garb who would try to choke them.
Oh, so like prison guards still doing their job, I see.
Yep. Then the rest of them were the Carrollton prison, which is another thing I've researched. It's kind of like some of the other places in New Orleans. Like, the stories start to blend in.
Well, I mean, ghost stories kind of do that generally. So
let's go with media. A lot of very dumb and brave Urban X videos. Like, some people get permission. Cool, and I've enjoyed those videos. There's other ones, hey, we got in here, there weren't any guards watching. I'm like, you dumb motherfucker, they're not going to let you out if they can. They're just going to lock you in the cell they find you in, man. And then forget you.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, Louisiana guards,
Sorry. PBS specials, the TV series Jailbirds on Netflix, and Johnny Cash has a song called Orleans Parish Prison. There's two versions up. There's a peppy version he sang on TV.
And then the real
version he sang at the prison.
Oh, he played at the prison?
He performed at one of the prisons.
I know he performed at more than just Folsom Prison, but...
Now, my sources. thelensnola.org, aclu.org, so many...
ACLU is like, we got a whole book on this place.
Human Rights.
Human Rights Watch.
The LASC.libguides.com. That's for the Louisiana State Library.
You said libs?
The New Orleans Historical.org. Confined in the Dungeon, Orleans Parish and Self-Emancipated People. That's where I got a lot of the information about. You got to have your papers. You shouldn't be that upset if they ask you to have your papers. Fuck you. I should only have to ever have my driver's license on me because I'm driving.
Yeah.
Or I want to buy beer.
Or have a basic identification, just if something happens.
The SPLcenter.org, Archives NOLA Library, Atlas System, the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office.gov, which was the most worthless fucking site ever. There was a section in there for you to turn yourself in electronically. You could schedule for them to pick you up.
That's cool.
They haven't abused that. 64parishes.org, Mother Jones, incarcerationtransparency.org. That one, oh my God, I didn't put that in here, but the number of prison deaths in the last 20 years in Louisiana is bigger than a lot of towns in Louisiana. Like, we're looking in the low thousands, which you might be like, oh, that's not that high. I'm like,
it's a big fucking...
Bonita has 1,300 people on a sign. It doesn't have 13 people anymore. The impact of 300 years of jail conditions, Andre Armstrong, Loyola University, and Wikipedia for additional source links.
Yeah, so...
Dude, this has been a cancer in my brain since I researched it. I had to get it out.
Yeah, I would say thank you, but...
Fuck that place.
It's a little bit too topical, too. I thought, like, the Katrina spot would be the worst, but it's just kind of like a shit sandwich all the way down. It's like a shit sub.
Dude, it was a shit tiramisu. Like, there wasn't a layer that wasn't shit.
Yeah, and it was very evenly distributed the entire time, nicely seasoned and steamy. But anyway, we are Backwoods Obscura. We release every Tuesday, usually. If you want to check us out, you can find us on Facebook right now. I don't know if we're going to do anything more on TikTok. Or
I still posted for this last week, and I'm going to still keep going. I don't care that they're tracking my data, mostly because they'll come and get me or they won't.
Yeah.
I mostly share leftist shit and then post our stuff and then go get a beer and say the week sucked.
Yeah. But we're also Team Bonus Action.
Team Bonus Action is a group of friends that mostly post pre-recorded videos right now on Sundays of our Sunday game. Also, we are affiliated with loosely affiliated with the Trevor Project at the moment. So if you can donate, we would greatly appreciate it.
With that, I hope you have a good day or night or whatever time it is over there, especially after this episode.
Fuck, I need a beer.
Let's get a beer. You want to get a beer?
Oh, I think I want a beer.